We get ready for 8 laps of action. It's going to be Ashton Yates that will start on that pole position. Great lap from Yates.
Yeah, great lap for Ashton. JD Beach there in the second row with Rocco Lander, Stefano Mesa. Great to see him back.
Andrew Lee, our championship leader, goes from the outside of the front row of the grid. Bryce Cornwell, we've seen him come through the field on a couple of occasions already this year in the Stock 1000 class.
Diego Perez has been one to watch for this weekend as well.
We've got 40 riders in the field this week in Stock 1000, and you can see the riders further down the field. The target for them, Rog, stay out of trouble on that opening lap, but there's a good opportunity to make a lot of progress from that midfield pack.
Yeah, try to get inside the top 15 and at least try to collect a couple points if possible.
That run towards turn 1 always one of the key opportunities during the race, but here in Coda it's such a tight section of track, a wide racetrack here down into a narrow line, and we've seen it plenty of times where that's caught riders out.
Yeah, it's really tricky off the start down into turn 1, and I think that's going to be the key part for these guys, and just make sure they make it through there clean on this first lap.
Yeah, big field here for the Stock 1000 class, and ideal conditions here in Coda. Lights go out. It's a good start from the middle of the front row from Uribe. It looked like Andrew Lee made a good getaway, and he's going to have that inside line down in towards turn 1. JD Beach looks like he's dropped a spot on the run down in towards turn 1, but that's Jason Uribe that runs around the outside to take the lead into turn 1, and then JD Beach trying to make up some of that lost ground. But you can see there for Uribe braking really late into the corner, Raj, but the bike moving around a lot underneath him.
Bike moving around. We've seen that all weekend with Jason. I think that's how he likes it. The setup, you can see JD. It's really difficult to pass through this part of the track. It's kind of slow, super technical. See JD foot coming off, trying to get that win, but you can see what Jason does all the way through the first part, all the way to turn 7. Pulls out a little bit of a gap.
This part of the track, like you said a lap ago, Raj, where the BMW rider is working well. So this is where JD Beach is going to be presented an opportunity. You could see there, Uribe went a little bit defensive on the entry, and for JD Beach, he was able to try and run his normal line. But down in towards the stadium complex, that could be a bit of an opportunity for Beach to come through. Beach definitely a lot faster than him. Maybe a little bit wide through one of the opening parts of the S's there for Uribe, cost him a little bit of lap time, and Beach just able to close up on him. This is going to give JD Beach an opportunity down into the back straight, into turn 11. Is he going to be able to get that bike down the inside, get it stopped? Block the track a little bit for Uribe, but Uribe's able to pick that bike up and exit the corner well. We're into a drag race down in towards turn 12, and this is where for JD Beach he now needs to use that toe, and doesn't really present itself as an overtaking chance into turn 19, down in towards turn 20, and Beach doesn't try and half wheel through there. He's just waiting his time once again. But last time around, Rog, we saw that opening sector is where JD Beach was able to close up some of that margin on Uribe. But is JD Beach close enough to try and attack once again into the left-hander leading onto the back straight? This is where he came through a lap ago. He went in a little bit hot a lap ago. This time looks a little bit tidier now for JD Beach, and he's hit the front. We've seen him with a top speed advantage down the back straight. We've seen him very strong in the brakes into turn 12. Can Uribe answer back down in towards the left-hander at the end of the straight? He's trying to use the slipstream from the Honda. The BMW rider trying to attack back and able to come back through as well down in towards turn 12. Great race, and here at the front.
Great race. Both those riders did a great job. You see the draft got Jason in a little bit deep. JD looked like he wanted to look up the inside in turn 12, but just not close enough.
A little bit of a wheelie on the exit of 12 there as well, just costing a bit of momentum for Beach, but giving us a good illustration of how hard he's having to press here to give himself the chance to come through. We've got 2.5 laps remaining here, and JD Beach on the 95 machine. He's had a couple of nibbles now, Raj. He needs to make sure he's able to make that move.
You know, maybe when he makes that pass down into turn 12, maybe not be so far up the inside and still just kind of slip by him and still work on that drive.
The riders come down in towards the last corner now. Beach closer on this lap than he was a lap ago, heading into turn 20, and be interested to see if he's able to use that draft to give himself a chance to be able to try and attack into turn 1, and then maybe you're able to try and open up a bit of a gap before you come to the back straight. JD Beach down the inside on the 95 machine. Jason Uribe just cut straight across him and
down toward turn 12.
Making the move a little bit earlier this time, JD Beach. Let's see if he's able to get it stopped that bit earlier. Slides down into there. He's made Uribe stand that bike up a little bit. That's going to cost Uribe a little bit of momentum down the back straight. Such a long straight here though, Rog. Difficult to defend when that rider's behind you.
JD's going to stay to the left side of the track to make it tough for Jason to move by. Now JD's going to try to get in the draft.
And into turn one as well, it means that if Uribe goes defensive, he costs himself that momentum through turn one down in towards the S's as well. So for JD Beach on the 95 machine, you can see he's trying to take that wider entry through there. Uribe's gone defensive, and it's going to work out well for Uribe, because that lost momentum for JD Beach means that he's not going to be able to attack into turn one. It has to come down in towards turn 11, and we've seen Beach make that move 3 laps in a row and not be able to make it stick. Uribe goes very defensive on the run in towards turn 1, and that's going to mean that Beach is able to carry that momentum, and he's closer now than he has been through turn 2 up towards the S's and the follow the leader section of the racetrack. But from this point on, this is where we have seen it, where Beach is that little bit faster than Uribe, particularly when we come through this next right-hander and then up towards the top of the hill. This is where we've seen the Honda able to close up all the way through this race, so we'll see if that's going to be the case once again for JD Beach, just holding those tighter lines. Uribe riding well, but once again it's just in that left to right complex that Beach really finds a lot of lap time compared to the BMW rider. But he's going to have to try and attack down in towards 11 once again. Uribe slides through there, takes the defensive line. JD Beach trying to give himself the chance to carry the momentum onto the back straight. Uribe holds that defensive line, and JD Beach is going to try and get that undercut through that left-hander onto the back straight. Takes the lead, has to go defensive now.
Stay left for JD. I think you need to continue to stay left and make Jason try to go around the outside.
You can see Uribe once again as late as you dare on the brakes down in towards the left-hand hairpin at the end of the straight. He runs wide. JD Beach is going to have an opportunity to carry that momentum up towards the stadium section, but it's still going to be Uribe in front, and for JD Beach tries to tough it out with Uribe, but it is still the number 36 out in front in this one. It all comes down to the last corner now, Raj.
I think for JD, he's really strong through here. He's got to wind up for the last corner. If he's close enough, he's going to take a shot. And
he's got to try it as well. It comes into this race 26 points down on Andrew Lee. As it stands right now, he's only picking up 7 points on Lee. So JD Beach needs this race victory. He's able to hold a different line to Uribe. Uribe going defensive into 19. This is going to present the opportunity in towards turn 20. Uribe a little bit wide. They go bar to bar down in towards the last corner, and Uribe holds on to that but runs in too deep. JD Beach is going to be able to claim this race victory, and all important 25 points goes to JD Beach. Jason Uribe ran in deep into that last corner. Beach takes advantage of it, gets the race win. Ashton Yates from the pole position able to claim that final step at the podium. Andrew Lee, our championship leader, gets 13 points for finishing up in P4. JD Beach, our race winner here in the opening race of the Stock 1000 class at Circuit of the Americas, and those 25 points will mean that we'll go down to the final race of the season. They'll go into that final race of the year with JD Beach feeling that he's got a chance still to win this Stock 1000 championship. What's interesting from it is Andrew Lee, if he finishes 4th tomorrow, regardless of what Beach does, it will be enough to win this championship. Uribe needs to win tomorrow to have a chance to win the championship, and that has to be the target for the 36. You never know what's going to happen, but Andrew Lee with a 14-point advantage means that he has to finish inside the top 4 to guarantee the championship tomorrow.